Thank you for joining. This is going to be a recorded session. I had a YouTube live and having some little technical issues here, but I didn't want to kind of prolong this. I'm going to put this up pretty quickly, so I'm going to run through this really fast because for the people that wanted to join. And if you have any questions, just post those. You can post those under where the question and comment section, or you can just visit our website, mysticoutcomes.com, and there's a chat button there. So there are some questions that are already, you can get those answered pretty quickly. Others, you can just start a live session. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So what this particular session is about creating a sacred space or an altar. Some people call it an altar. Some people don't call it anything, but what it is a place that they use to meditate, pray, read, and just kind of like connect to the divine. So just depending on what your particular preference is, what your spiritual practice is, what your religion is, it may look different for you. So I'm just going to kind of go down, talk about some specific things, and also invite you to a sound bath session, okay? Because we're going to be having those once a month, and that's really kind of helpful to kind of be calm, help with meditation, help clear negative energy, help bring in positive energy. So just depending on, what that particular session is going to be about. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, okay? So what this session is going to be about, like things you can put on your altar, how to arrange your altar. I have here a altar cloth, okay? So this is just, not an altar cloth. This is a tea cloth, okay? But some people use altar cloths. You can use whatever you want. You can use, I would suggest, if you have like a white pillowcase, okay, that can be used as well. White is a really good color to use like in like spiritual practices and like connecting to the divine. So if you have like a white pillowcase, you can use that. I have a tea towel here. And then I also have an angel number candle, okay? But you want to be mindful of what you put on your altar. I actually did a reading for this session before and picked the 5-5, okay? Which this particular card is speaking, and candle is helpful for like transitioning, okay? So this is a candle that has gemstones in it, as well as it has specific essential oils. It has some cinnamon in it, clove, and also some eucalyptus, okay? So you can go ahead and put that on your altar. You can make that a central part. How you arrange it is up to you. Some people use like crystal grids where you can put that on your altar cloth, and that's kind of like how you arrange like crystals and gemstones, just to kind of like bring in energy. If you work with tarot, there are tarot candles, color candles, depending on what you're manifesting or working on or praying for. White is generally a good color to use, a color that if it's not anything you're praying for, meditate or manifesting, that's just a good color to kind of connect to the divine. Just sitting like bright, like white light, bringing that to yourself, blessings. So that's a good, just like a color to use candle, okay? If you're using your sacred space or your altar for you just to connect with the divine and to pray and to read like religious texts, okay? Also, I have two different kinds of sage. I'm not going to open these because I already have one that's opened already that I use until some kind of use it. Like this one is mixed with lavender, and it actually had a Palo Santo in there too, stick, but I've already kind of burnt that one. So I'm not going to open any other ones, but this one is white sage, okay, and I'm going to go ahead and open this box, okay, to show you what it looks like. And the other one, pretty transparent, what's included. And that comes with, it's sage mixed with another flower. And then in our store, you can get those. I'm going to talk about that later. I'm just kind of want to go over things you can put on your altar. So that's some sage. It's just white sage. It's not mixed with anything else. White sage bundle. So you can keep that on your altar so that when you go into your particular time, your sacred time, you already have everything that you need. Of course, every once in a while, you want to clean it and freshen it up. I usually clean mine every day. I wipe mine down every single day. I have like some really bad sinuses and allergies, so I'm kind of careful on what I wipe it down with. Even with my sage, I don't really use it that much. I'll use things like sometimes if I'm I'll use Florida water a little bit for me, so because it's kind of a strong scent. Florida water is a really good cleansing. But you can just use anything to keep it clean. I usually clean mine every day. Like my area that I kind of use, because my space, pretty much my work area is what I use, because I'm doing angel readings, angel tarot, things like that. Spiritual coaching. My workspace is pretty much what I use for my sacred space. And even when I'm like meditating and things like that, sometimes, kind of old school with it, I'll go in my closet, because I have like a closet, like has a space in there. If I need like some real silent time or whatever, I'll just go in my closet. But this typically is the area I use. So I usually will kind of clean this. I'll clean this every day. Like every time I'm working, doing readings, or if I'm connecting with the divine and I need kind of like some time, I need all of my kind of tools available, like incense, things like that. I usually have those handy. So it's important to kind of, it keeps things kind of simple if you have everything you need like readily available to you, versus just scattered throughout, your home or your whatever place you are, to kind of, when you're sitting down and concentrating on your spiritual work, whatever that means to you, if you have everything already there. Okay. So I have a candle. Talked about the incense. You can put the incense anywhere. I don't really lay mine out in a particular pattern. Again, this is a different type of incense. This comes with some stones. So you can put some stones on your altar, your sacred space. But be mindful what stones you're using, okay? Because let's say, for instance, you don't want to, if you're trying to calm, you don't want to create like, put an energy or a stone that is emanating like energy to kind of amp you up. Okay, so rose quartz is good. This is one that has several different stones in there. Okay, Dalmatian jasper, some rose quartz, some amethyst already in there. We sell this in our store. I also have, and I kind of want to backtrack, I just have a simple cup, but this is a mug, and whether you drink coffee, tea, this is water. I have it here, and this is not to like, what do they call that? Water gazing or whatever. This is for me to drink. Okay. So you might want to have things like that, like water. I have my journal. Okay. I have my journal here. Okay. This is one that I use. My journal, because my son kind of was doing some doodling on my journal. And then just a pen. You might want to keep that close by, your pen, your journal. Also essential oil. You can use a essential oil diffuser. I have one that I use sometimes, where you put the water in it and you can put the drops of lavender. But I also have this particular angel diffuser necklace, and it has diffuser pads, and you can actually take these out and change them, put different colors. I usually put lavender in mine. Okay, lavender. You can put this a self-care essential oil that comes in one of our bundles. That is kind of more so, you may be able to find that. It's sold by a particular company where we get our essential oils from. But I use lavender a lot, okay? And so I'll just kind of drop. It's very strong, okay? It's very strong. So you don't want to saturate this diffuser pad with it. Now you can just use the diffuser pad and put it, put it on your altar, okay? Like if you look, just kind of, there's like a little circle here. Put this right in the middle there and just use that. Or you can put it inside of like a diffuser jewelry, okay? And do it that way. And then when you're sitting down, you're kind of helping yourself going into that kind of particular zone where you're kind of wanting to go into as you're entering into your spiritual practice. So the sage is used to kind of cleanse the space, okay? You want to cleanse it, although you wipe things down, you want to cleanse the energy, okay? You want to cleanse the spirit. Whatever word you use, I sometimes use them interchangeably, but they're not really speaking of the same thing, because stones are more like energy. Here's a heart stone. This is clear quartz. So this is energy. It's emitting energy. These aren't really spirit. Spirit is connected to like an angel, like an ancestor, like a something like that, like an entity. So energy is typically emitted from like an object. Like planets emit They're not going to emit spirit. They're not spirit. They're made up. They're comprised of like gases and things like that, where these are also comprised of certain types of elements, okay, depending on what particular stone you're working with. So sometimes I use those words interchangeably. I'm going to start catching myself when I do that, because it's not the same thing. You know, especially working with angels. Angels are not energy. People use that word. I typically don't like to use that word, because they are like, if I say angelic energy, I might be talking like a sound bath that might be using a particular type of singing bowl, okay, that would resonate, okay, at a certain type of a frequency or vibration that aligns us with the angelic realm, okay, but that is still energy, okay, but so I'm going to try to catch myself when I do that, because they're not the same thing. Angels are spirit, okay, energy is like planets, coming from gemstones, things of that nature, okay? You can put some gemstones. This is clear quartz. Selenite is really good. It's a cleansing stone. You might want to use that just to kind of clear the energy. I'm not like a master gemstone particular person. I've worked with stones, you know, for a very long time, but, you know, I may carry like a citrine, you know, in my, like wallet or something like that. At some point, sometimes I just get real creative with it. You know, I'll get like a cloth, put some particular things in, like a stone or whatever in it, and sew it up myself, you know, but you can go and get these things already pre-made. Okay. Your Bible, your religious text, you might, Bible, Quran, Torah, whatever religious text or book, you know, you might be reading a particular book, you know, law of attraction, manifestation, whatever that is for you, keeping that on in your sacred space. But it's important to understand this is a living, breathing area. When I say living, breathing, you're wanting to connect with the divine. You can also look, if you're working, I'm going to give the suggestion. If you're new, unless you know what you're doing, it's like, oh, work with this could be an area where you connect with your guardian angel. You can do a guardian angel prayer. You know, in the Catholic faith, there's a guardian angel prayer that you can use, that you will feel safe using that particular prayer. Okay, if it's new to you, connecting with your guardian angel. Now, we have particular service that it speaks of helping you connect to your guardian angel. What I don't do, maybe down the line I'll see why this would be useful. I don't do that. Other people might do this, where they will connect with your guardian angel. Like, I like to help people develop their own, connect to your intuition, connect to that's your guardian angel. Okay, some angels like Michael, this is not a guardian angel. Okay, this is an archangel. This is like an angel over specific things. There's angels over specific things. But it's my belief that all of us have a guardian angel. That's your particular angel that came down with you to earth. Why would it make sense for me to continue? I might help you. And that's my job, is to help you connect. Part of one of the things I do. Could you connect to your guardian angel? That's not my angel. This is not like a Michael or Uriel or Gabriel or Raphael, where I might be kind of connecting with for healing, communication, something like that. That's different. But your guardian angel, and what I like to do is connect people help them connect with their guardian angel. It's your guardian angel. So I have clients that I have had for years. And in year one, after a certain period of time, I should not be doing certain things for you. If I am, then I'm not doing something right, or you're just being stubborn. Because at some point, you're supposed to be able to do some things yourself. Okay, so you're supposed to be able, like at some point, you should be able to connect with your guardian. You know how to do that, okay? You're connecting with your guardian angel, not relying on me for certain things, okay? That's just like if you're going to a psychologist or a therapist. Some people do, because some people have a lot of things to work through, and things come up in life. There's several things that come up, and so they need to work through those individual challenges. But if you come to me for one particular thing to help you with, I like to call that particular service angelic healing. At some point, if you're not being healed from it, either you're not kind of following like kind of things that I'm finding in readings, because some of these things I'm not relying on just my own experience. Some things are coming from from knowledge, okay, training, experience, things like that. But some things are coming through readings, okay, where it's like, this would be helpful for you. And if you're not following those things, then it's not going to work for you. It's not going to work for you. So at some point, it's going to be like, okay, well, what are we doing here? Because I'm not a therapist, and I know I'm kind of deviating off here. I'm not a therapist, okay? So and even a good therapist or psychologist is supposed to, yes, heal you and let you talk. It's like talk therapy, but it's therapy. It's to heal you through it. It's not a venting session. It's not a venting session, okay? It's for you to kind of, sometimes we need to get things off of our chest. We need to express things. That is part of the healing process. But at some point, those sessions should be less and less and less. And at some point, they should be not there anymore, connected to a particular topic. They shouldn't be there anymore, because you shouldn't feel the need to want to vent over a particular thing. Because the healing is to move you past that and remove stagnant energy connected to that. And that kind of, using that word, kind of circling back around to removing your space. When I say living and breathing, there's energy. You're going to connect. It's energy that we're in your home. Okay. There's energy that you bring with you that you might need to, want to clear, before you start certain sessions, because it's going to make things more easy for you, and you'll have a better outcome. Okay. Now for myself, I typically keep my incense. I'll burn it sometimes, but if you're dealing with like sinuses and things like that, you want to be mindful that a lot, like some of the candles have, well, not all of these particular number candles have essential oils in them. So you want to be mindful of that, okay? Mindful of the scents and things like that they use, because you don't want to make yourself sick, just because you want to manifest a husband or a wife or some money, okay? You want to be mindful. Well, some people will make themselves, but for the most part, I would like I can tell you how to use the products. You use them how you want to, but you want to be mindful of that. Mindful that they have essential oils in there, okay? That you want to know that this kind of is not going to cause, and if you put it on your skin, beware of those types of things too, because some things are not meant to be put on your skin. If they are, it has to be diluted. So be aware of that. Also, with the sage, because I burn mine sometimes, because the scent sometimes is it can get overwhelming. If like I'm saging my whole home, it can get a little overwhelming. But know that there are replacements for, like, sage is really good as a cleanser, but you can use sound therapy too. You can use sound healing. You can use binaural beats. That clears energy too. You can use stones. Okay. So for the most part, I like to use it. I use stones. Okay. Selenite, I would use these when I'm doing readings to cleanse them. Okay, I always keep my stones. I'm going to use my astrology card just to kind of give an example. They're always tuned, because I always have them I have stones surrounding them constantly. Okay, I keep them in a particular place, and I have them surrounded by stones always. So I don't use sage. I used to cleanse them with sage after every single client, but I have to be mindful, of things that might be, like wreaking havoc on my sinuses. So now I just use stones. So just be mindful that you can use other spiritual tools for different purposes. The 10th house, this is the area of like career, reputation. Okay. The 3rd house, area of communication. Okay. Communication, childhood education, also Mercury. Mercury, the planet, Mercury rules the 3rd house, and this deals with both of those coming together, is either dealing with communication, things like that, or education. Okay, early childhood education, though, because the 9th house deals with higher learning, higher education. Okay, so that's just kind of an example. I keep these tuned. I keep these kind of tuned and cleansed, because I keep stones around them. Okay, also, I find helpful, like, I like to use certain type of, like, there are certain things you can put on your altar as well. your sacred space. I like to use like certain spiritual symbols and things like that. If you have a cross, if you have something like that, you want to put that on there. This is Our Lady of Perpetual Help key. I usually kind of keep that. I do readings, so I keep that with my readings just to kind of keep it tuned in to kind of like the divine and kind of like working with, Our Lady of Perpetual Help, Our Lady of Angels, which is the same, it's Mother Mary, one of her manifestations. So but you have to do what put on your altar in your sacred space what is helpful for you and what allows you to align. Because keep in mind, although there's a blog post on giving you tips of what to use, this is for you. So you want to know that what you have on your altar works for you. Your friend, whoever, this person might use something, but you have to be aware that, first of all, we're different. Even astrologically, we can be the same sign, but sun sign, but then we may not be the same moon sign. We have a sun sign, a moon sign, a rising sign. So that alone, those are called our big three, will be different. Okay, so we're different. We're different astrologically. We're different. Our destinies are different. So you want to be mindful of things like that. Okay, tuning into yourself. Okay, which is helpful for you to manifest, pray, bring about the results that you're looking for. Okay, so I talked about the keepsake things you keep around, like a cross or something like that. You also may want to. You can keep statues. Statues, particular, what's helpful for you or specific to your particular spiritual path or your religion. Okay. And also, arrangement. I talked about that before. Arrangement, it's up to you. Some people use crystal grids. They use certain type of things to kind of like line things up. They might put the candle in the middle, this here, this. That's up to you. That's up to you, and it's based off of what you're doing. So, because if you're using something like a crystal grid or something like that, you want to be mindful, okay? Or if you're drawing veves, okay, just depending on what particular path you're on, you want to be mindful that you don't want to, I like to use the word, you don't want to be sloppy in your spiritual practice, because you can cross energy up where you make things more difficult for yourself, okay, and create issues. So you want to be mindful of like things, even gemstones, things that you're kind of keeping, meshing together, energies, to make sure that they're beneficial and they're aligning to what it is that you're wanting to manifest, pray for, energy you want to move away from you, energy you want to move to you, spirits that you want to have bless you, because I typically, if you look on my side, I'll offer angel psychic readings. Some people are like, oh, I thought you said you weren't a psychic. So I want to be clear on that. I'm not, some people are, when you're going to different people for spiritual services, they're connecting to different things. Some people are connecting with just pure energy. Okay, just pure energy. Some people are connecting to certain deities. Okay, myself, I like to do angel readings. When I say angel psychic readings, because what I'm doing, we all have a guardian angel. So all of us really should be angel psychics when you think about it, for ourselves, because you're tuning in to the angelic realm to get messages. But that is one of their functions. They're messengers. Okay, so some people have that particular gift or have trained on it, whatever is, particular person's, what they're doing and, their particular realm of profession or work or whatever the case may be. So that's getting messages from the angelic realm. Okay. But it closes off. That's why I say to people, I'm not trying to connect to your guardian angel for you, so to speak. If that how it comes through or whatever the case, that's fine. Typically what I'm going to do is use angel tarot cards in a message wheel. And I have a particular deck that are guardian angel cards. Okay. But that's to give you, and that's to me, because I don't want to connect to your guardian angel. Maybe get messy. I want to tap into the angelic realm, but I want to be clear that I don't want to connect to your deities for you and so forth and so on. Okay. I want to connect to get you a message from the angelic realm. And then ultimately, I haven't cleansed these, okay? But, just like with this, I'm going to pull an angel. These are our guardian angel cards. So, can you give me a message from our guardian angel? First of all, I might give, because it's my platform. I'm on another person's platform, so I ain't going to do this on the other people's platform. But it's my platform, so I'm going to say, I'm not going to, let me help you connect to your guardian angel. All of us have one. Some things we can't connect with. Brought this point up when I'm saying mixing energy. Some angels and some deities you can work with, but you have to make sure you cleanse yourself, because certain like spirits or whatever the case may be, they're not going to work with you when there's certain things going on around you or in your life or in your certain things we kind of have ourselves involved in. We're fooling ourselves. I know people, no, they're loving angels. They are. I'm not talking about that an angel, is closing off, like being biased. But we have to keep in mind that when we're asking for assistance from specific angels, that their frequency, their vibration is pure. And now if you're working with some fallen angels, okay, if you're working, and again, that's the demonic realm, but keep in mind, they're angels. Okay. They're angels that have fallen. Okay. That's just like a human being. Okay. I'm still human. It doesn't matter if I'm a doctor, lawyer, I'm human being. Okay. It doesn't matter if I'm good, bad. I'm still human. That's like an angel. They were created as angels. They will always be that. Now we add on a different element to that to say now they're part of the demonic realm. Okay. So saying that, I will say, when you are creating your altar, be careful what you're mixing and putting on your altar. And then also be aware and be mindful. Okay. And I don't care. This is my opinion. And so this is my opinion mixed in with some study, and people have different beliefs. But let's just think logically. Certain particular angels they want us to come to the light. They want us to come to God. They want us to come to the divine. They want us to purify ourselves, heal ourselves. So how do we think that we can continue to call on particular angels for manifesting certain things? That first of all, might not even be in their realm of the things that they kind of specialize in or they work on or been tasked with, but it's also like it's a taboo. It's like an obvious kind of like taboo or no. But then to go to an angel that is not a fallen angel, and to ask for certain things, we're just fooling ourselves. And then we have to question what particular angel are we working with. Okay, because it does not make sense to go to certain angels to ask for certain things. Okay, inner child. Let me read this. Nurture your inner child and begin to express the awesome beauty you hold within. We live in a world where a formula exists for everything. Yet, love and creativity have no formula. They do not need to be studied, simply nurtured. Regularly set aside time to just play. Okay? But I would say this, regularly, there's no set, put this way, you have to do what your spirit is telling you. All of us have spirit. What your spirit is telling, and at the end of the day, a person may say, well, how do I know that's my spirit? Say, you feel a sense of peace and feel a sense of calm. If you sit down at your altar and it feels all chaotic, you feel stressed out, it's not calming you down, then you have to either, one, it's the energy in that area, or something and you have to relax and calm down. That's why you might want to use lavender, some soothing music, things like that. But setting time to meditate, to pray, to journal, okay, is important. And know that there's no magic formula. There's no magic formula. Even in spiritual practices, even though I mentioned, I'm a certified spiritual life coach. I've had this study, I've had these training. God will give us, God, the divine. If we sit down, okay, we will get trained by the divine. We will get trained by the divine, okay? And it doesn't require a special certificate, these type of things. Yes, these things are good because they help us and they opening us up to other professionals that can give us tips, tools, things to harness gifts and things like that. Or what's the word I want to use? To get them, to make them better. I can't think the word is missing me now, but to make things better. It's like an athlete. You practice to get better. You also can work with professionals, coaches, things like that, because they help you become better. So that's that. This card that fell out to believe. Okay. Angels are real. Okay. At the least, I would set aside time to connect with your guardian angel at the end of the day. Connect with your guardian angel. Some people don't believe in God. Those that believe in God, connect with the Spirit of God. Okay. If you don't believe in guardian angels, it's like, I don't want to connect with the Spirit of God. But for those that don't believe in God, okay, you may believe in angels. You may believe in the angelic realm. You may not believe in a God in that sense, because some people and in some cultures, they just believe God is so huge because God is the all in all and in everything, that humans were not made to connect to God directly like that. That's why we will have we have these intermediaries, these particular divine spiritual beings like guardian angels, Jesus, that kind of show us and kind of demonstrate to us. Okay. But in some cultures, they don't even believe that you can connect. They believe in God. So it's not a belief in different gods, but they don't even believe you can connect directly with God. Okay. It's our human mind sometimes can't fathom that. So if that's something, but you want to connect spiritually, start with connecting with your guardian angel. Okay. Start with connecting to your guardian angel and be mindful that at the end of the day, I call it test the spirit. This means that any spirit, because you can be like, well, how do I know it's my guardian angel? Good question. First of all, a guardian angel is supposed to help you evolve spiritually. The guardian angel's job is not to make you comfortable on earth. So, oh my God, I know it's my guardian angel because after this, I had these things. Of course, if these are issues your guardian angel wants you to live on life, the best life you can. But it's not all about the material world. The guardian angel's job is to help you, point you to the here, and to be ready for your transition. Your transition into that next life, that next world, whatever that, your belief system is, to elevate you spiritually. Let me put it that way. So at the end of the day, it is important to differentiate, okay, and not to get sidetracked, okay, by spirits or a spirit that might be trying to send you on a spiritual decline, okay? Because what is the saying go? A man, what is it worth for a man to gain the world but to lose his soul? A guardian angel will never do that, ever. A fallen angel will, because this is about more of the temporary, the physicality, keeping us comfortable in the physical, having us grab for things on the physical. A guardian angel whose job is to elevate us spiritually and to prepare us for the afterlife is never going to lead you down a path while you have all the worldly goods in the world, but you can tell that there's some spiritual decay or there's no spiritual improvement. That's one way you tell, but hopefully you don't get to that point where you start seeing, because a fallen angel is never going to submit itself to God. So you will never, a guardian angel is never going to do things that it's always going to want to lift you up. So that's one thing, make you feel special, make you feel like, whatever this is. And the divine doesn't typically, because it lifts our ego up. And so that is pride. And those types of things it's difficult to connect with other human beings. And it's difficult for us to connect to the divine when we are in that type of a spirit. That's why when Jesus said, people were like, why are you washing the people? Why are you letting the people? They were questioning all these things that he was allowing to happen because they thought somebody of his stature, like, why are you hanging out with these people? Like, why are you doing this? Why do you do this? And he's like, I didn't come here to be served. I did not come here to be served. I came here to serve. Okay, so those are things we have to look out for. So there's these clues, but at the end of the day, you can request a reading. You can request, if there's a concern about those things, look to elders, look to people that you check out. But check the people out though. Just because someone has a TikTok and all these things, that doesn't mean anything. Someone could be a really good speaker. Look at these people now that we're seeing now, or have seen in the past, that have been extremely charismatic, extremely leaders. I'm talking about in the spiritual world, extremely charismatic, lots of people following them, all these things. Then to find out later they fail because they had these particular issues, things going on that they had not conquered, or they had not put the things in place to cleanse themselves, or to protect themselves from negative spiritual entities that are always going to try to attack a person that is trying to go to the light. You always have the darkness on the other side of that, or that's in the light. So it's to be mindful of certain types of things, but go to reputable people. You can check, you can tell. You can go to people's website pages. I know some people are like, oh, I know back in the day, some people had to hide because there was crimes. Like in the South, you have people that were the midwives, the root workers. A lot of times in the South, back in the day, the midwives were the spiritualists. They were the spiritual workers. Of course, they couldn't broadcast that out because some of the things that have became illegal over time to do, because of racism and things like that. So back in the day, people were not broadcasting, their services, so to speak. But in today's age, but the community would know though, word of mouth. But nowadays we have TikToks, we have websites, we have Instagrams, we have Facebooks, we have all of these different ways that if a person is reputable, you should be able to see something to let you know that. And not to say a person is not reputable, because someone might just be beginning in their practice. But guess what? If you're new and that person is new too, you might want to steer away from that. You may want to steer towards someone that is an elder or very seasoned in a particular spiritual tradition or religion. Not to say some people, and that's just to protect yourself, because how do you know? The best way to protect yourself is to look at the person's track record. That's the best way in those type of instances. So anyways, I'm kind of going off topic here, but it's still kind of on topic, because the point of the sacred space and the or altar, whatever you want to call it, is to connect to the divine. Is to align yourself spiritually, okay? And sometimes we need help along the way. And so sometimes we need other people to guide us. And it's important to know that who you're being guided by is reputable, and they know what they're doing. Okay, so with that, I'm going to kind of end this. You also may want to put on your altar some guardian angel cards. These, similar to these have messages on them. They also have prayers on them. Before we go, I'm going to pick one more. I'm going to let it sit here for a second though, because I did not cleanse it. So I'm just going to let that sit there. I got some angel. I'm going to put this one on here. And then before we go, I'm going to read one card. Went over the candles, went over the sage cleanser. You could use Palo Santo. You don't have to use sage. I like sage. Okay. That's kind of like my go-to for like when I'm really trying to do some real spiritual cleansing. It's sage. Okay. It's like, okay, I just use the sinus spray, do those things. So I won't have, issues there, and I need to cleanse, that type of situation. That's like my go-to, but there's Palo Santo. There's also other things that you can use. I'm not too familiar with them. I'm more so familiar with sage. Okay, so that's what, I typically is my go-to. So we talked about that. The essential oils, things to put on your altar. Again, the arrangement is up to you. Again, unless you're following a particular tradition that will show you that you need to put things in a certain space, then you want to follow that. But for the most part, if you are not, this is your space for you to connect to the divine, to help you in prayer, manifestation, journaling, which I didn't mention, but I have my journal here, journaling too in your sacred space, getting those thoughts out of your mind. Sometimes journaling is just used for. Sometimes you have messages. Okay, sometimes messages are just coming to you. I think it's called auto writing, things like that. You know, if you tune in, then you'll just start writing. And then after you finish it, read it. Because your mind, it's not even that your mind at that point, your hand, the instrument is now, your hand is just being guided by the spirit. At that point, this becomes more like a message to you versus like a tarot card or something like that, or spiritual text. Some people do bibliomancy, you know, which that's kind of where I started, bibliomancy, which is where you kind of, to me, some people just flip open the Bible and turn to a certain page. Me, that's how I started with like numbers. You know, it was more, you went to the angel numbers, but it more started with bibliomancy. You know, a certain page of the Bible, you know, praying first, asking for help on a particular issue or asking for clarity on something, page number, and then you just turn it to that particular page of the Bible, and then there goes the answer. Similar to that, where sometime a message will come to you, okay, and it's just, you just write. Something's just telling you, write these particular words, and then when you finish writing, because it's not cognitive, meaning it's not coming from your mind. This is spirit trying to get a message through you, and this is how the message is coming through, okay? So I'm going to use cards, though, right now. And to me, I use cards because they're safe to me. You know, I know I'm doing things to kind of to like align my cards, so to speak. And it's helpful to use the card. Sometimes I don't have the right words. I don't articulate things. And so sometimes I'm like, okay, that's what I was thinking about. Or sometimes there's merely just confirmation. They're confirmation. You know, so now, like, let's say, for instance, like sometimes I'll be speaking something and then the card will come to confirm it. A lot of times that is the astrology cards. Those are more useful for me for that. Reason being is because anybody can check astrological placements. And typically a lot of times, so I'm going to pull one of these and I'm going to pull one astrology card so you can kind of see for yourself how that works. Let's say if I'm working with somebody that's an Aquarius, you know, which is my sign. I'll do my card reading. I'll get an Aquarius card. I'll get a card where the moon's literal moon placement is. Okay, the moon is placed in this particular sign. The sun, right now, the sun is in the sign of Scorpio. So I might get a Scorpio card. I might get a card which that particular sign is called a house, which is the realm of. But that I find useful because a person can check me. It's really important on your spiritual walk. You don't want someone else to override your own ability to connect to the divine. It's helpful because some people are like elevated. They're sitting there praying, they're fasting, they're doing all those things, and our spirit is nowhere near tuned into the divine like that. And then some people have gifts. You know, so it's not to say just to totally rely on yourself. Some people, it's just like a musician. Some of us can't sing. We want to listen to music. We would just we want to listen to somebody that has that gift or has been trained in that because it sounds beautiful. It sounds nice. You know, so not to say that we don't go to people sometimes, but it's important for me to confirm your readings. So that's why I like to use astrology, because you can look, go to, you know, a popular site where you can see, go to, I think in NASA, NASA may even have it. I don't ever check that, but I need to. Like Farmer's Almanac, things like that. You can see where placements, different, like placement of the moon with Farmer's Almanac, different phase that it's in. NASA may even have something where you can check literal placement of where these planets are. So if I'm doing a reading, astrology card reading, and it's picking up certain things for you, it will be confirmation for you that, okay, this reading I can kind of fact check this, that what she's getting is accurate, because she's also, speaking of myself, you know, if you're coming to a reading with me, she said that the cards were picking up, not that I just said, you can see, because if you get a video reading with me, the cards are picking up on the astrological energy of our current season. So it's hard to kind of talk yourself out of like, no, this message is for you. It's for you. Okay, it's for you. The message is so-and-so. And even if it don't sound like something you want to receive, that's the message. You know, that's the message. So that's say, and you know, a person can say it's fake and all these things. Usually people say those types of things because it's something that's hard for them to receive. And they'll say something is fake that they know is real, but they don't want to accept that, because to accept that something is real usually is something they don't want to confront. They don't want to confront, or they're afraid of it. So, you know, that's why I like to use the astrology cards too, because what I heard somebody say what he said, just because you don't believe it, don't mean it's not true. Important to understand that. Just because you don't believe something, do not believe it's not true. Prayer. So I'm going to read this one, prayer. Dear God, help me always to remember that this present life is but a fleeting moment within eternity. Help me always to remember that this life is but a dream. Help me always to remember that you exist within everyone and everything. Help me always to remember that love is all there is and all else is an illusion. Thank you. So, or amen. However you end your prayer. Okay. So that's just a prayer to end off. And I'm just going to pull a card. These are astrology cards. I'll use these when I'm doing like angel scopes. So you should start seeing those more on the YouTube channel, like angel scopes. Okay, where I will kind of mix these with like angel tarot cards to give like a, you know, pick up on the astrological energy and a message from angelic insight. Okay, specific to what is being indicated. So let's see what we got here. The moon phase. I'm not really sure where the moon phase is, but we'll see. If I get a moon card, I'll look it up and see. I know we have a full moon coming up. I believe it's going to be in the sign of, it's going to be in the sign of Taurus. Mercury retrograde. This is when Mercury is like going backwards. I think, if I'm not mistaken, we might already be in Mercury retrograde. So I might get a Mercury card. Something like that. So let's see. Scorpio, the sun. Let's see. Ceres. This is an asteroid considered to be the mother. A lot of times to me, that represents moon energy. But I have my key here, our Mother Mary, Our Lady of Perpetual Health, which is a manifestation of Mother Mary. So let's see what message we got here. The Mother, Venus. This is kind of coinciding with that guardian angel message, where it said everything. Did I put the card at the bottom of the deck? Let's see. Oh, did I shuffle again? But anyways, that card is just the prayer. So everything is about love. Okay? Venus is the planet of love. Okay? Also, if you go, you'll see the video I did earlier was the Knight of Cups. Love, emotions. Okay? And then Jupiter. Jupiter. This is considered to be a lucky planet. Planet of good luck. Things like that. Considered to expand and grow everything that it touches. Okay? So with that, I'm going to, just to kind of tune in here, I'm going to pick one angel tarot card to kind of clarify, you know, the astrology cards. Because I should have looked up all of the astrological planetary placements, but I wasn't planning on doing a reading. So then I could have kind of, you know, got more clarity just based off of those cards alone and where those placements, like where Jupiter's placed, where Venus is placed. Venus may be in the sign of Sagittarius, which would make sense because Jupiter rules the sign of Sagittarius. If that planet is still there. Okay. And then Ceres was like feminine energy, considered to be the mother. But let's see. We get the Wheel of Fortune, Angel of Destiny. Okay, Angel of Destiny. Wheel of Fortune is progress, good luck. It also picks up on karma. Sometimes it can pick up on negative karma if someone there's a situation where there's two sides. But I feel like this is beneficial. I don't feel like it's picking up. I feel like it's picking up on good fortune, good, not necessarily good fortune. It's called Wheel of Fortune, but it could, because Venus also rules the areas Taurus, which deals with our finances, our earned income. She also, you know, deals with money. But I feel like it's just fortunate occurrences. King of Swords, okay, King of Swords. So I feel like this is a good thing. This is like Two of Swords, okay. Crossroads. It's a decision that has to be made. It's a decision that has to be made, okay? And it's a crossroad, a decision-making process. Pray. You know, when we're at a crossroads, a crossroads mean you can go down. There's two paths you can go down. One path's not right, though. But how do we know what the right path? Pray. So that's why a sacred space and taking the time, sometimes we rush. We will rush into making decisions. Let me end it with this. Perfect example. We will rush if we have two, let's say two potential marriage partners. One of them folks ain't your wife or your husband. Now, in this season right now, how people are kind of analyzing some of the things that may change under our new presidential administration is no-fault divorces. That means you ain't gonna be able to get divorced like that no more. How in our country we be changing out spouses like they some dirty drawers, dirty underwear. You can't, instead of washing them, clearly like, okay, that's what you said, till death do you part. That it's gonna make it really difficult, for my understanding, and some of the things that have the potential or may change. No fault divorces. If one person, if you're looking for it, I always tell people this is safe. When people are another safe way to, like when we're dealing with certain things like spirituality, gave some tips on how to be safe. Mates, if you're at a crossroads and you have a choice to make out of two individuals, only one or maybe neither is that spouse or that person that is your soulmate. So if you having yourself at a crossroads, the best way, now if it's just one person, and if there's everything else is equal though, then the best way is like, okay, which one of these is my soulmate? Which one of these is my twin flame? Now, what if it's neither one? The best thing to do after that, you're watching a spiritual video, so hopefully you're a spiritual person, is to say which one will elevate me on my spiritual path? Which one will take me away from it and or keep me stagnated? Staying stagnated is just like going backwards. You're not making any growth. That means you will be married to this person and you will not make any growth. We all want to grow. So at the end of the day, if it's not, okay, you're at a crossroads. Which person is my twin flame? Which one of these persons is in my soulmate? Or if it's like, well, you know what? It's neither. I don't think it's neither one. It's coming to it's neither one. But then it's which person is going to allow me to stay on my spiritual journey. Some people will take us away from it. Some people look at some of these bad relationships. And I'm not going to name no celebrity because I used to always go to my one go-to relationship, but there's so much stuff that came out afterwards. Who knows what was going on in that relationship at this point. So that's not my go-to kind of like, look at what happened when this person married this person. But look at examples that we have, either that you know and personally, where a person, they get married to a particular person, it wreak havoc. And now, if this comes to pass where there's no contest divorce, you're going to be stuck. So at that point, then it's like, which person is going to allow me to highest good first would be who allow me to reach my destiny. That's the highest. Now under that, because I'm going down different tiers, because some people just like, no, I'm not really looking for all that. I'm not really looking for my soulmate. I don't even really believe in that anyway. I don't believe in twin flames. I'm not even looking for that. Okay. Then the next one is which one will allow me to stay on my spiritual path and not derail me. Now, this is different. Well, I'm not really looking for that. Well, you're not. Because I said I'm assuming you're a spiritual person. Okay? If it's not that, here's another one. Which person is going to allow me to elevate in life? We're supposed to grow. That's the human condition. We're created to grow. So, to grow. Which person is going to allow me to grow? And I'm not talking about growing just financially. Because just like the saying goes, you can gain the whole world and lose your soul. Some people have, and this is known. And let's go outside of that. I'm not spiritual. I just kind of like to watch these things, energy, and so. Okay, well, let me use this example. There are some people, and we know it because look at some of these celebrities that have committed suicide. They have money. They have fame. They're not happy. So that is what you can have a given tip. So when a person's at a crossroads, how do you make a decision? Well, okay, this person gonna allow me to make a lot of money. Okay, well, that doesn't mean you're gonna be happy. Look at these famous people. Look at the examples. Because we always, until we get something, we think that is going to it's going to satisfy that longing that we have. I believe that longing is a longing for the divine, to connect with the divine. That's what I believe it is. But we feel like this longing, loneliness, whatever this is going to be fulfilled by a certain thing. And then we find out, hindsight being 2020, Once we end the situation, that's why we have the divorces. That's why we have these certain situations that people find themselves in, that in the future, it's not going to be, well, I ain't going to say in the future, look at the, not to say everybody gets, and I'm not going to go there because I know that's controversial, but just giving an example, some people do, I'm not going to go there. But anyways, it's going to be difficult. We have to look at the decisions that we're making. We have to look at the decisions that we're making. This is what the King of Swords and the Two of Swords speaks to. Making good decisions. If you're at a crossroads, how do you know which road to go down? A lot of times, if it's not God that has not always, if we're part of a spiritual tradition or religion, has already gave us the signpost. We already know. But we acting like we confused because there's something is presenting us that we really want, that we know our upbringing, our religion, our spiritual practice, norms, societal norms, it's a no-no. But it's the inside of us that we're battling with this thing going on in the inside of us to satisfy some type something. And so it's still a battle. So it's still it's still a hard decision. But a lot of times we already have the answer. We already have the answer. We've already got the blueprint. We've already got the direction. When you get to this point, what you're going to see is a fork in the road. And when you get into the fork of the road, to know which one you go down, if you kind of look and gaze a little bit towards the left, you're going to see this. Don't go down the other one, because this one got, we done already a lot of times. If it's not from history, if it's not from somebody that had training, school, if it's not from religion, not from parents, if it's not from aunts, grandma, whatever, we already know what path to go down. But we're fighting with the inside of us. But those are these spiritual things that we have to go through. But at that point, at that crossroads, which that Two of Swords speaks to make a decision, I just gave some different ways to kind of determine how to make a choice. Okay, I'm gonna pull one more and then I'm gonna do the angel numbers. Opportunity. This might even be an opportunity. This is something like of the financial realm or the practical realm, and it's a choice. It's a choice. I always tell people this because I'm a little older now. Okay. And people always said I was a wise soul because I always had this gray patch just right here. Now, it's not wisdom. I don't think people think it's no more. They probably think, they're like, no, that's just old age. I've had this gray patch in my hair that I cover up since I was a child. I think I always tell people 9 because that's what I can just remember. And when older people, certain people would see it, they would say, oh, that's a good luck streak, or that's a wisdom streak. It's a wisdom streak. Okay? And so, wisdom, I'll just say this. Knowledge and wisdom is not the same. But I'll say this. I have not seen it, and I've not heard of it, where the things that we get, we don't have to pay a price for it. We have to pay a price for stuff. Even love is not free. You understand? Love comes with suffering. It comes with submitting. It comes with patience. It comes with all these things. So even love is not free. So when I'm speaking of coming with a price, I'm not necessarily talking about in dollars and cents. I'm talking about time, energy, invest. There's always an exchange, even in the spiritual realm. That's why you think of things like tithes, offerings, ebos, when people are giving offerings, things like this. Different, depending on what particular tradition you're lighting white lights doing. What are we doing? We're making an exchange with the spiritual realm. Nothing's for free. Everything comes at a cost. Everything comes at a cost. So we have to decide what it is that when an opportunity comes and we're at a crossroads. Okay, which decision to choose? That's why the sacred space and taking the time to pray and meditate is helpful, because it allows us to tune into the divine and the angels, the angelic realm, to get messages to help clarify things. That sometimes things are a struggle. Sometimes it's not just a struggle. Sometimes we don't know. Sometimes there's confusion and things like that. So it's to clear our minds so we can kind of get that message and make, good choices and proper choices that will help us be happy and help us align with our spiritual good. 717. bravery. And sometimes a choice, again, we know the right choice. We want to take the easy route. We want to take the easy route. And sometimes we just have to be brave. 717, if I added numerology, I would add these together, I would get a 15. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that this is a karmic debt number. So karmic debt number, usually in numerology, you all add numbers down until you can get to a single digit between 1 and 9, except for a few. Whether they're karmic debt numbers, these are things that people get scared when they're, oh my God, this just means this is a challenging area. It's going to take more effort to deal with something. It's not necessarily even, it's just difficult. It's not going to be easy breezy. And sometimes it causes us to stand taller in the midst of something and to pull out that extra something within our soul and our spirit to get ourselves through, because it may be a challenging situation. And it's just to say that scenario, but it's to be careful in making a particular choice. And 2-2, this is, that was a karmic debt number. This is what are these called? It's 221133, and it is slipping my mind of what these, but you don't reduce these numbers down either, because these are kind of like higher, these are more beneficial. They're higher numbers where, what are they called? Oh my God. I have forgot what these numbers called. They're master numbers. So we wouldn't reduce this one down either in numerology. So 2-2 is more so speaking to, like, this is more like a heart. It's a very beneficial number. But again, the 2-2 to me is speaking of that there is a choice to be made. The 2-2, just like that 2 of swords, a choice to be married. Let love be your guide. Let love be your guide, okay? Let love be your guide, and let your highest good be your guide. Staying on a spiritual path, or coming onto a spiritual path, okay? Okay, and also allowing yourself to not be afraid. If there's a decision that needs to be made, not being afraid. There's a cost to everything we enjoy. There's a cost to it. We like cake. We want to eat a lot of cake. There's a cost to eating all that cake. You're going to gain some weight. If we like traveling, okay? If we like being aligned, there's things that we can't involve ourselves in, okay? If we're not spiritually aligned, want to get a good degree, got to do the assignments, okay? Those types of things, okay? You want a new car, you got to pay the price of the car, okay? So there's always things that we have to pay. Faith. And at the end of the day, having faith. If there's something that's a challenge, having faith that you can work yourself through. And here goes that 2-2. This is 222. This is an angel number, 222. The 2-2, that's in numerology. That's a master number. This is an angel number. This is your angels trying to speak to you. So at the end of the day, and I'm going to end it with this, at the end of the day, your angel, when a 222 comes up, look at the clock. Sometimes when you look at the clock, you'll start seeing 222. You'll start seeing, it's 222. Every time you look at the clock, it's 222. Get your receipt. Okay, that was $222. You'll start seeing 222. Okay, but at the end of the day, if that's not occurring, it showed up here. There's a message. There's a crossroads decision. And use love to temper your judgment. Okay, know that there's a price. Opportunity comes. There's a price to be paid for everything that we do. There's a price to be paid for things that we do, things that we get. This looks to be, because it's a pentacles, this is of the material realm. So this is more of getting something, or it can be an opportunity, a financial opportunity, or something dealing with that in the practical realm, like job, career. To your angels, you don't have to be confused on what choice to make. Your angel is trying to speak to you. 222 is angels trying to speak to you. Or angel, because sometimes may not even be your guardian angel. It could be an archangel. It could be Michael. Okay? It could be Gabriel. It could be Raphael. Uriel. It could be another. There's lots of angels. There's lots of angels. There's an angelic message trying to come to you to help you make a choice. But to me, this just looks like it's going to be maybe a difficult choice. That there is a price that has to be paid, or there might be overcoming some type of fear of something. Okay, but with that, I'm going to go ahead. I picked, did the angel prayer card, guardian angel card, astrology card. This is kind of demonstration of kind of how I would do some of the readings, along with how to set up your your sacred space, your spiritual altar. Have any questions? Go ahead and post those in the comment section or go to our website and just start a chat. Thank you for joining.